Okay, here is Northern Tick Tock, and I videoed Tick Tock's first post-track ride, which was one day last week. But after that ride, I decided that he was barefoot for that ride. He's been barefoot since sometime last fall, 2025, when he did his left front bow. And while he's very comfortable barefoot, just in and around the barn, he's comfortable barefoot out in the field, playing around and all that stuff. When I actually sat on him, and of course the ground's not helping because everything's so hard, but when I'm actually sitting on his back, he felt a little stabby on his front feet to me. So we waited for my farrier to come back. I'm sure I look like a total moron because he'd just gotten a trim the week before. But we added front shoes, and I'm so glad I did. And the first thing is just that his feet are absolutely gorgeous. Tick Tock's not enormous. He's somewhere between 16 and 16 one hands, although he is very chunky and big bodied. But it's not like he's some 17 hand horse. But his feet are huge and beautiful, and they are just, I wish that my own horses had feet that look like this. They're so gorgeous. He's in a size extra large bell boot, which I just love because my 17 hand horses are in a size extra large barefoot. And then you've got chunky Mr. Potato over here with an even better looking foot. But anyway, he feels very, very happy in his front shoes. So that definitely did the trick. It was well worth it to get it done. And I'm just really happy with how he feels. So this is his second post-track ride. He hasn't been ridden since the last, so I don't know if it's been exactly a week or not, but it's been definitely at least 4 or 5 days since his last ride, and I didn't do any prep. There was no lunging. We just tacked up, came out to the ring, and got on and started videoing. So he's very simple in that way. And he felt so much more relaxed to me today. I mean, of course, some of that is because now he's been here for longer. So, of course, that helps. He's gotten the first ride out of the way. The first ride is, of course, always the most nerve-wracking because they're in a new place trying to understand a bunch of new things. And so that's very understandable that I expect them always to be nervous on the first ride. And then they almost always take a deep breath and come out much more relaxed for the second ride, like he did. And I'm sure it's also easier to be more relaxed when you don't feel like your feet are stinging. So all the things are working together to make Tick Tock feel like a very happy horse today for this ride. So I thought we had a really nice tempo going to the right. When we changed back to the left, here we're doing a little bit of sorting with trying to get the straightness right, which is a little bit why his tempo sped up there because we're having a little conversation. But it doesn't take very long. And then somewhere right around here, he quickly just sort of takes a deep breath and relaxes back into the, yeah, this is nice here. That's why he got a big pat on the neck. I really love that. That's a great place for him. Just a good balance, good rhythm. I love the expression on his face. He's contact neutral. He doesn't really understand the contact, excuse me. But he doesn't have any, I would say, negative connotation towards it. He just needs an education about it. But actually, when he really steps into a nice sort of slow off the ground tempo, I actually really like his frame. It's lovely just the way it is. And he has such a cute face. I absolutely love the expression that he has on his face when he's just sort of relaxed and at ease. Whenever I look over at him in his stall, I just think he looks like the cutest little potato I've ever seen. Yeah, this here felt really nice. And he's moving really well. He's actually a good little mover too. One thing I just absolutely love about this horse is that he can be anybody's turnout buddy, and I'm using him in several various turnout positions to babysit basically because he's super easygoing and turnout. This is the type of horse that can get along with anybody, and he tends to diffuse situations. He doesn't get other horses excited. He does the opposite. He tends to be like a calming effect on other horses. So he's been turned out a lot because I've sort of been rotating some geldings through with him as their buddy. So I really always appreciate a horse that I can do that with. He's actually really relatively straight for a horse that's so fresh off the track, you'll see when we canter to the right that that's sort of his hardest thing. The right bend is a little harder than the left bend, which is the absolute norm. And so, of course, in the canter is where that's going to show up the most. So here to the left, this is great. I actually really like this. He did lovely canter work to the left today. This all comes quite easily to him. I love this balance here. This is all very good. You'll see when we change it around and go to the right, he wants to do what most of them want to do, quite honestly, is because he finds that right flexion harder when he's cantering, he wants to travel a little bit with his head to the outside and his butt to the inside, which gets him leaning on that right inside shoulder. So I'm cantering him on the circle because, of course, I'm hoping to use the shape of the circle to sort of help encourage the shape that we want him to make. And I don't know if I would say, I think I was successful today for a few steps at a time. It's not the sort of thing that you just sort of snap your fingers and abracadabra, all of a sudden they've got it. It improves, piece by piece. And it's only his second post-track ride, so, I think he's being absolutely excellent for that stage of where he's at. One of my horses, he's not really my horse, he's Northern Cardinals, my RRP hopeful horse for the year, really went the same exact way when he first came off the track in the right canter. Just sort of didn't understand the right flexion, kind of thought it was hard, and so, wanted to put the head to the outside, the butt to the inside, and I've spent the last few months working on that with him, and we're really just about getting it done. So, getting it to the point where it's really not a thing anymore, or it's something you have to think about very little. So, a couple months of consistent riding, and this will be a lot better. He gives it to me on this half of the circle here is where he finds it more challenging, and then sort of as we're coming about here, on this half of the circle, actually, he gives it to me a bit. So I would say I'm having about 50% success right now, which I will take. And then this last little bit is just him on cross ties. He's very good on cross ties. My only complaint about him on the ground is that I cannot get him to eat a treat.